it was just hard to swallow. Losing with guys that you really care about, and you just want the best for them. This loss stings as hard as any loss I've had, because this is a group of guys I really respect and have a lot of confidence in, both as people and as players. And when you have that kind of relationship with your guys, it really hurts. These guys have gotten to the top of the mountain last year, and as a leader, you just want to put them in a position where they can do that again. And I failed to do that this year. I was I thought our guys played with a lot of heart. I thought they played their hearts out. We had our opportunities, but Colgate was a better team tonight. You got to give them a lot of credit. Every time we made a run, they had an answer. When Burns went out the game, I thought that was a big stint in the game. When he got his third foul, we weren't able to get any. We weren't able to gain an advantage. We were down when he got back in the game. I thought that was important when he went to the bench, that we could maybe make a run, and we weren't able to do that. I did think we got enough good looks, but they made some tough plays. Ferguson's three was a dagger. That was a big play. We didn't switch up, and he made us pay. I thought the other area that we struggled with was transition. They were able to get 16 points in transition to our 4, and we talked about that. We did a good job of not turning it over, and it was a game that was, it was a game that was in our, it was kind of the way that we wanted to play. We wanted to be a little bit more of a grinded out game, and it was. I thought it was a game that we kind of put ourselves in a position to win, and just couldn't make enough plays to get over the top.
Coach, I guess I want to start with kind of the middle of the second half, was when there was a lot of confusing stuff going on with the fouling, especially with Fletcher particularly. And then I know there was that Jonas offensive foul that ended up kind of turning the tide. How was that all dealing with all that?
Yeah, it's a basketball game. I'm not going to make a comment on, on the foul difference. I thought we probably played, too much with our hands, but there was they went to the foul line a lot more than we did in this game. It was a big factor in the game. They shot 39 foul shots. We shot 14. And so that it's hard to win a game like that. They make 10 more foul shots than you made. It's hard to win that game. And so, I put that on us. We probably played with our hands too much. I mean, you have to let every each person kind of decide what they thought about that. But anytime you have that big of a differential in foul shooting, it's tough.
And Javonte, obviously 27 points is pretty amazing, especially against Colgate. Seemed like a lot of times when the offense wasn't getting anywhere, he kind of hit some big buckets that kept you guys in the game.
The thing that hurt that was not having Ethan in the game. If Ethan plays, I think we play with a much better flow. If you watch our games, especially the last 5 games, he was really important because he does all the things that you need to do to get the offense moving. Playing Javonte at the point for so much in this game, hurt the flow of the offense because we couldn't kind of play with the normal way we play, because Ethan was the guy that was kind of making sure the ball was moving and doing all the little things that make the offense work. And so we were a little stagnant. but we still got a lot of open shots. If you watch the game, we had enough open shots to, to put ourselves in a better position to win. But we weren't able to make them.
Was Ethan's absence injury related?
Yeah. You heard he's got a hurt shoulder.
Okay.
Coach Sukmatone had a double-double, and it seemed like he was getting really involved on the offensive side. Was it a game plan going into it to try to get him the ball in the paint?
Yeah, we probably needed to get him the ball more than we did. We probably need to get him, more shots. We need to get to the foul line more. We only took 14 foul shots. We were 14 for 14 from the foul line, so we needed to get the ball. We needed to get to the foul line more than we did. We just, it wasn't, I have to admit this. I thought I actually thought we, in the first half, we struggled. I thought we got some pretty good looks in the first half. We didn't make them, but we shot basically 47% in the second half. That's good enough to win, but we definitely struggled in the first half. And, then we held them to 44%, which is hard to do. And on their floor, especially. So, we were in a position to win, but we needed to play without fouling. We needed to be able to move our feet. That was the difference in the game. We fouled way too much to win the game, the bottom line.
Coach, you've kind of talked about all season how this year being so unique has thrown a bunch of different challenges at you guys, and you fought through a lot of them. What does it say about this team that they showed the level of tenacity that you said this is a hard fought game? What does that say about your team that you got?
Yeah, listen, there were things that we did not control that we needed to do a better job of this year. I thought it was taking me too long to get them to focus on the right things. And so when we started practice in mid-December, I knew we would be behind, because that's kind of when we started to kind of practice, 5-on-5. We had a game coming up in, 2 weeks or so. We hadn't really practiced much at all, 5-on-5. And so we were behind, and then we were injured. But then once we got going, we kind of went through this period where we weren't focused on the right things. And that's the part of it that we didn't do a great job of. That's what I was saying. I needed to do a better job of leading at that time, of getting them focused on the right things, because we weren't playing up to the level that we're capable of playing, even with the challenges that we had going in. That's the part of it that I felt like. So we weren't playing hard enough, and we were kind of focused more on ourselves individually and how we were playing individually at times more than we were with the team. And I thought those two things had to change. And then over time, we kind of got them to kind of focus on the right things. And I thought we started showing some improvement. And, my whole thing was like, can we catch up? I knew we were behind. I had watched teams play in our league. A couple of teams were playing in the fall semester, and then we went around the first time, and I was able to watch a lot of teams in the league, and I knew we were behind. And then it was just like, can we get caught up? And I thought when we went to Lafayette, I really thought that was a breakthrough, but then we regressed, and then we were really inconsistent with our focus and our defensive intensity, and then we were just inconsistent for a while. I thought in the last, 4 games, I thought this was the best stint that we played, because we got more focused on trying to win the game. We had guys coming off the bench thinking more about how they could stay in the game. They weren't focused on how they were going to help us win enough. I mean, it was in this normal stuff that you go through, and then you go through that in the kind of the preseason practices. You give out the roles, you have some scrimmages, and then you get everybody focused on the right things. And then you have some non-conference games to kind of get everybody on track. And then by the time you hit the conference, you're rolling. And we just did not have a chance to kind of go through some stuff that you would normally go through. So again, I will take responsibility because, I need to lead, I need to do a better job of leading in the time and making sure our guys are focused on the right things, because these are great kids. So we have a great group of guys. It wasn't so much done out of guys being selfish. It was more out of things that guys felt like they could do to try to help us win. And it's hard to do that when, 13 guys are thinking what they can do more in the offense. And you need them to think more about how the offense needs to work more as a group. And so that's kind of what we were kind of focused on. And then once we got their focus back, we were better, but we were inconsistent until like the last 4 games or so.